As the youngest child of my family, I'm a 15-year-old boy with 3 older sisters, ages 18, 21, and 22. Now, as you can imagine, this dynamic is already challenging. Thankfully, I have a great dad to lean on and hang out with in the midst of the chaos. Growing up with 3 older sisters consists of, but it's definitely not limited to, emotional breakups, fights about who wore a top first, fights about Instagram posts, lots of screaming, and somehow, through all the chaos, Taylor Swift still manages to be playing somewhere in the background. So getting out of the house was definitely a priority most days. Hanging out with friends, hanging out with my dad, or even playing golf were all good excuses to escape the hectic commotion. You could argue all of this led to me not being that close to any of my siblings, however, it had actually become quite the opposite. Despite all our age gaps, I was still able to form connections even if they were a bit distant at first. Me and my siblings all have lengthy age gaps, however, the closest sibling in age to myself is my sister Mary. Mary and I have almost developed this sort of rivalry between us as we've grown up together. Even when Mary found out that she was having a little baby brother, there is video evidence of her claiming she's the baby, not me. This feud continued through most of my life, mainly with Mary. However, I was still not entirely buddy-buddy with my 2 older siblings, Emmeline and Georgia. For some reason, though, none of this bothered me. I still obviously loved my siblings, yet nothing really changed until college came. When Georgia, the eldest, had graduated, the shift in our family dynamic suddenly became more noticeable. While at first I convinced myself that I miss her, the thought of one less girl at home was not something I was entirely devastated over. Though, as time passed, the empty seat at the dinner table almost gave off the feeling of a missing puzzle piece. Soon, Emmeline had graduated and there were 2 empty seats and 2 missing puzzle pieces. By about this time, I began junior high school. I became a teenager and my life started to change. Friend groups began to evolve, and those who were closest to me in elementary school slowly drifted away. At times, it could feel like a lot, especially when you feel like you don't have that mentor that has just been there guiding you through it. With both my siblings enrolled at Auburn, that left only Mary at home, who I still was not close to. It often felt like I would go home and there was no one I could truly talk to about what was going on at school or in general. Many might have this relationship with their siblings, however, it's just toxic. These types of toxic relationships begin to form when there's jealousy, unspoken tension, or like I dealt with, a lack of communication. So furthermore, the sad truth is that many don't just not have a relationship with their siblings, but it is an unhealthy one. The National Institute of Government found that symptoms of depression and anxiety are positively associated with sibling conflict. For teens dealing with middle school and high school, this can be devastating. Going home to someone that you don't know that's related to you will just build the stress and anxiety that you're already subject to as a student. As I'm aware, many of you in this room may feel that your relationship is too broken and too far beyond repair, whether that be by 10, 20, 30, or even 70 years. However, I still suggest that you attempt and take a leap at building that relationship. You could achieve this by small gestures like participating in activities that he or she enjoys, or just by having an open and honest conversation with them. I know these things can be hard, but I know they will work because they worked for me. During my 8th grade year, for some reason, I began to spend a lot more time with Mary. But I'm so thankful because over that time, we've become so much closer than we have been in the last 14 years. And now I'm able to receive advice I regret not receiving in 7th grade and all those years prior. Whether that include friendship advice, academic advice, or faith advice, it truly highlights how valuable the relationship I've built with my sister really is. It's a ripple effect as well. Mary is the reason why I am now able to be close with my older siblings, Emmeline and Georgia, even with an 8-year age gap. The American Psychological Association found that early childhood sibling warmth and support has been linked to a number of positive outcomes. Some of those include peer acceptance, social competence, academic attainment, and educational engagement. So if you have a sibling, build that relationship. I'm confident your entire life will flip for the better. Though all the Taylor Swift and mayhem you may still come home to, you will still come home to a sibling. And at the end of the day, I looked across the dinner table to my sibling and realized the best decision I ever made was flipping them from my sibling to my best friend for life. Thank you.